Divide the numbers. So we have one number that's in decimal notation and one that's in scientific notation. Now instead of running straight to the calculator, let's see if we can figure out a way to do this. What you want to do is you want to make it so both numbers are written the same way. You can either write them both in scientific notation or both in decimal notation. Now I'm going to write them each way and then compare to see which one might be the easiest to divide by hand. So 250, let's do the decimal first. And then 5 times 10 to the third, let's see, that's 5 to 3 zeros after it, so it's 5,000. So 250 divided by 5,000. That's one way to write it. Now let's put in scientific notation 2.5 times 10 to the 2, because you move the decimal point over twice, as you can see right here, and divided by 5 times 10 to the third. Okay, so now you can decide which fraction you want to work with. 2.5 and 5, well, that divides to make 1/2. So you would end up with 1/2, or 0.5 times 10 to the, and you subtract here, 2 minus 3 is -1. So you get 0.5 times 10 to the -1, and that's kind of ugly. I mean, you can go ahead and work with it from there if you want to. And let's see, we'd have to make this in scientific notation. We have to move the decimal point over 1. So that would be 5 times 10 to the -2. Okay, so there's your answer in scientific notation. Let's take a look here. Maybe this way will be a little bit easier to work with. Simplify those zeros right away. So we have 25 to 500. And I know there's a common factor here because 5 times 5 is 25. And then 5 times 100 makes 500. So these 5's reduce out. Then we have 5 to 100. And I know 100 is 20 times 5, so I can write it as 5 and then 20 times 5. These simplify out, and then we get 1/20. That seemed a little easier in scientific notation to me. Oh, by the way, 5 times 10 to the -2, that is 5, and then times 1/100th. So you would get 5 to 100, which is the same as what we had over here, this part. And then that reduces to 1/20. So you could really go either way. I mean, here's your answer in scientific notation, and then you can go all the way to a fraction if you want to in either case. And it's really up to you however you wanted to do it. And for the calculator, let's try that also. 250 divided by 5, there's the EE button for scientific notation, 5E3. That's 0.05, which is the same thing as 5 times 10 to the -2. Now let me go ahead and put that in fraction form. 1/20. Okay, it looks good. So we worked this one out 3 different ways, got the same answer each time. So pretty confident about this one, 1/20.